Live from Trinidad Beach, California. This is Joe Flow numero uno. Thanks for joining me. We're going to start on our backs. Nestle into your surface. Have your arms laying by your side and your feet planted underneath your knees if possible. For a bridge, let's start by curling the tailbone underneath you, articulating up through the spine. Hopefully, you can hear me okay. We're going to roll all the way up, stretch out, forward, past the toes. Think about your knees going beyond your toes. Take a moment to help open up through the front of the hips. Let's take an in-breath here. Exhale, breath to roll the body down through articulation. So you're going to go chest, ribs, lumbar, tailbone. Then unwind through the pelvis and take that again. Pelvis curls underneath you. We roll up through the lumbar, ribs, and chest. Power the chest up, power the ribs up, power the hips up. Feel the knees reaching forward beyond your toes. And then rolling back down through the chest, through the ribs. Think about someone pulling your tailbone forward between your feet as you elongate and roll down. And of course, you're going to take another one. Pelvis curls, lumbar, ribs, chest. Lots of dogs on this beach. Here we go. Up, breathe in. And then rolling down, feeling the head get a little heavier, the throat getting a little heavier, the heart and lungs, the tummy, and finally the pelvis can unwind. Interlace your fingers behind your head, making a nice big basket of support as you then curl up head, neck, and shoulders. Exhale at the top. And then roll back down. Breath is flowing. Curl up. Let some air out at the top. And then roll back down. On this next one, I want you to inhale after the exhale at the top. Does that make sense? Here we go. Curl up. Exhale. Inhale. Stay for a moment and roll down. You're just staying through the inhale. Let's go again. And rolling down. One more time. And rolling down. Take your arms back down by your side. Lift one leg up and then switch. Switching toe taps. Tapping, alternating toes to the ground. And if you want a little bit more, roll up head, neck, and shoulders. Hands can come back behind your head. And we're here. 3, 2, 1. I want you to add a rotation to the bending knee. Rotate, 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 rotate. Three, 2. I don't know how many we did. 1, but now we're doing our last. And curl. Okay, second round of bridging. This is just our warm-up. We've got a great workout today. We'll see. We're going to be going a little bit fast. So if this is your first time, maybe try a beginner video. This is a little bit more advanced. So we're taking one leg up into the air. We're stretching it straight. And I'm flexing to kick up, pointing to kick down. I'm going to do 3 more. And 1. Keep those hips high, high, high. Bend the knee, plant that foot down. If you need to rest, take a rest. If not, go the other side. Extend, point, kick up, point, kick up, point, kick up. Use those arms to help you keep the lift in the upper body. And use the strength of the back of your legs to keep the lift and openness through the front of your hips. 3, 2, 1. Plant that foot down. Stretch the arms back behind you. Imagine you're being pulled across the room, the ocean, the land, and then roll down wherever you may be. Very nice. Extend one leg out. Flex that foot. Reach the arms up to the sky. Roll up. Oh my gosh, there's a stretching class going on over there. Might be like a lifeguarding course. It's so foggy here, I couldn't see them when I was getting my video set up, and now maybe I'll go join the Trinidad Lifeguarding Association after this. Was that 3 or 4 roll-ups, single leg, switch the legs for a moment. Feel like someone's pulling your heel outward. Get a stretch. Open up the front of the hip. Now float the arms up, curl the chin in, roll the body up. Both legs are working here. I want you to feel the grounding through the bent knee foot and the grounding through the back line of the leg on the straight leg side. One more for good measure. Just going for feel, not counting rigorously. And back down. Both arms straight, both legs straight, feet flexed. Roll up. We'll just go back to the first variation and do a couple single side. So the thought is, what if my legs could be still, as if my feet are pushed up against a wall and they're staying up against that wall? As the spine deepens, it's bending, it's wheeling, it's spinning, it's turning over the legs from the pelvis and the hip joint. Pelvis is the fulcrum of the movement. Bend and curl, fight for it a little bit more. Really stretch your waistline back as you feel your spine curling over your thighs. Just keep that round shape as you roll down. There's a lot of variations, but we're going to do that. Oh, the sun is coming out. Here we go, one more. Work for it. Keep those arms up a little bit more. Curl the chest, pull the ribs in, pull the waist in, and stretch. And then come all the way back down. Let those arms hang by your side. Let's take one leg up into the sky. So I'm going to start with my right. Left foot is flexed as if it's up against that imaginary wall still. Right toes are pointed. You're going to go across the body. The hip may come up. And then spin that leg around all the way back to the top. The hip comes up as you reach over the body. Once that right leg crosses beyond or just past that left foot, that's when you anchor your hip back down. And just 3 more. 2. Whip it around. Stabilize it at the top just for a second, as if you're holding balance. And that was roughly 3 more. Other side. You open the leg out, the hip is grounded. Pop that hip up, drop it back to the mat. Lift the hip, drop it to the mat. So that it's your core, it's your pelvis. That's really the initial mover here. And 2. A little faster. And 1 with control. Just take a stretch. Glide your hands up to either the back of your thigh or the back of your calf. Try not to pull on your knee joint, because that's what we're told, and you don't want bad pressure back there. Anyways, roll the ankle out a few times. Point flex the foot. Settle the right thigh bone deep into the glute. You could always do this with a bent knee. Find what works for you. I'm going to bend the knee now. Give it a deep hug. You could be on the shin. If the knee is irritated, just pull behind the thigh. Let that knee relax. take the thigh bone out to the side of the body. A little hip opener here. And then cross it over to the other side. And a little bit of the outside of your hip stretched. And just pull that leg in one more time. Prop those elbows out wide. Float the left leg up. You can point the toes if you want to be pretty about it. We can do something with the feet. You want to think about all aspects here. Head, neck, and shoulders just rolled up into a chest curl. And we're in our single leg stretch. And we're going to switch. And we're going to switch. We're going to switch. Nice smooth breath here. Tailbone is heavy. Flex the feet for a change. You're saying if you can just maintain those shoulder blades up off of the mat. 3, 2, 1, 1. Pretty point. Rest the head. Arms by your side. Left leg's up. Right foot is flexed. Back up against that imaginary wall. We lift the hip as we cross to the right and swing around back up. Cross to the right. Swing around back up. That's 2. Start with a little breath in, and I exhale that leg back up, doing my best to stabilize the rest of my body as I do that. And we reverse. Around and up. The shoulders are wide. The collarbone is drawn wide. The arms are strong to help us stabilize through the upper body as we do our hip circle. And we'll call that 5. We were doing 5. And we stretch. 5 each side. Just keeping the reps low. Keeping the intentions good. Just getting the spine moving. Breathing. Sending breath into the body. Sending life into the body. Remember, you have variations here. Just stretching your leg. Just a moment. Pulling to the outside. Letting the eyes settle in their sockets. Letting the jaw unclench. Pulling that leg now, medially, and the outer hip to stretch. Resting your head heavy and feeling your breath into the body. Coming back to center. Bring that right leg in. Curl up into a tiny ball. Elbows wide. Feel your ribs curled. Feel your chest curled. Head is supported by the strength of your upper abdominals. Tailbone is heavy. Belly is curling. Okay, double leg stretch. We've set the intention. The body is strong. We reach the arms and legs out. Hollow body hold. Circle your arms around. Grab for those ankles. Pull in even more. Out. Circle. Pull in even more. Imagine someone lifts your arms up to the sky. You maintain your chest curl as deep as you can. Reach those legs out to straight. Talking to myself. Now, some with a flexed foot. And around. Keep that chest curled. And around. Keep that chest curled. And around. One more. And around. And rest. Okay. Beautiful. I want you to rock yourself up to an upright seated position. Stretch your legs out. We're in an upright seated position. Legs are strong, rooted into the mat. I almost want to face the other direction because there's a whole crowd of people. But it's a nicer view this way. Anyways, on with it we go. Saw. My feet are flexed. Again, think about that wall that they're pushing into. We're going to add a rotation. I'll go to the camera side first. Hello. Flip the back palm to face the body. Then the outside hand reaches beyond the outside of the foot. The spine is rounding over, just like that roll up we did from earlier. Now come up, big twist, and go to the other side. And we're there. We got it. And we twist and go to the other side. Every chance is an opportunity to work on that spine, bending in articulation from its vertical position over the thigh. 3. The legs are strong and stable, staying up against that wall so we don't feel our weight moving from hip to hip. And last one. Strong arms. No flailing arms, no noodle arms. Come back to center, hands behind the head, side bend over. Now, your feet are up against the wall, your spine is vertically up against the wall. And you're just gliding your spine down the wall, feeling the ribs fan open and apart. The outside ribs stretch and spiral open, and then they narrow to help you come back up. And again to the other side. And come back up. You tip over. So I'm bending my spine to the left. My right leg is heavy. Someone's actually pulling my right leg beyond that imaginary wall just to help as an oppositional anchor to this movement. Come back up. From here, we're going on our side. You have, again, various positions here. I kind of want to stay in the range of my carpet today. So what I'm going to do, you could go down. You could also stay out of the sand and be propped up on your elbow. Just be strong here. No collapsing ribs. Pull those ribs up. I'm also going to give myself a little kickstand because we're going to come back to side kneeling leg work. So this is just a warm-up. Now the wall is behind me. I'm going to press my head, my chest, my ribs back against the wall. I've got my bottom leg anchoring me down. Left leg in this case extended long. Small circles to start. Just something friendly. Just small circles, getting acquainted with the movement of that working top leg inside of the hip. Other direction. Supported by the core. Of course. Center. And hold. Point the foot. Flex the foot. This leg is active because I'm activating it. I'm thinking about engaging those muscles. I'm going to flex the foot, swing forward, point, draw back in extension. Swing forward, point, draw back in extension. Flex forward, point, draw back in extension. Double kick. 2, 1, 2. Just 3 of these. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Hold it back there. Bend your knee. Pull it in. Kick it up. All the way back. And forth. Flexing back, pointing as I pull that leg in. Kicking out. Pointing as I pull it in. And reverse forward. Extend. Get really stretched out to your diagonal there. That's the reminder to open up the upper body. And stretch it out. Let the leg drop and just take an opening overhand stretch. Roll onto your stomach, please. Take your hands just to the outside of your shoulders. Have your legs comfortably together. That could be here, that could be here, that could be tight together. From this position, we're going into a back bend. Your head comes up, shoulders roll back. It's like a reverse chest curl. You gaze out into the vista, and then you articulate back down. Oh, a little readjustment there in the back of my neck, which is amazing. Okay, so here's a thought. You've got a string from the top of your head going outward. Someone's pulling that string outward, and then up and back and up and back and up and back and up and back. And now they're pulling it up and forward, up and forward, up and forward, up and forward to encourage length and openness through the movement. We're going to do that again. Up and up and up. Maybe you continue to grow through extending the elbows. And then you lengthen up and forward to come back down. Relax your feet if they have tension. And again, up and up and up. And you're articulating back, stretching the spine, opening up the chest. And you're going then forward to come down, forward to come down, forward to come down. One more time. In breath to pick you up. Out breath to express at the top your swan. And you come all the way back down. All right. You are welcome to flip over to the other side. I'll just give you a back view anyways. Might as well see it from the other direction. Now we're back on our side. I was going to turn to face the camera, but for flow psych, here we go. You got a back view. Leg is lifted. Ribs are lifted. Chest is open. Hand can be somewhere for a reminder on the hip to feel the movement. Or behind the head to practice a more challenging position. A little bit more balance. 3 and 2 and 1 point. And flex. Point. And flex. There's a lot of work happening underneath the shoulder and through the hip. You're actively anchoring down the bottom leg to help you balance and keep your hips stacked so you're not rolling one way or the other. And you're thinking also someone's pulling that leg out so we're not crunching into the body. There's so many little thoughts. Foot is flexed. We go forward and we point and come back. Forward, point and come back. When that foot travels behind you, your heart gets stretched across the room. Flex and come back. Double kick and behind you. Double kick behind you. I've never really taught Pilates with an audience that isn't doing Pilates with me, but here's to being brave and trying new things. Back, lost count, last one, and back. The legs behind you. I'm going to reconnect to my side. Pull the leg in as if you're going to do a quad stretch. Keep it tight as you bring it forward, flex, kick out. So we call this bicycle. Circling through the hip. And reverse. Kick it forward. Keep that tight hamstring and quad leg stretch as you take the leg behind you to that extended diagonal and back. And that's enough of those. Stretch. Back leg is rested, top arm's stretching. I'm going to do a little twist. And big surprise, we're back on the tummy. Recording. Okay. So we did our swan extension. I'm going to get into some extending hips. You can make a little pillow for your forehead to rest, and then hope that your sound quality doesn't get too goofed up. So alternating straight leg raises from your tummy. And take a breath away from the microphone. Those bicycles got me. So my neck is relaxed, shoulders are relaxed, and I'm giving my quad, my knee a little squeeze, and same with the hip, and just feeling it active and long for a moment. Imagining again you've got two little friends just gently pulling your ankle out to a diagonal. Your ankle, not your uncle. Where's my uncle then? Pilates jokes, like similar to grandpa jokes. They just happen in the moment. We don't really know if they're that funny. Okay. I don't know what these are called. Little frog, reverse frog press. I really love these ones. Very challenging. So get your heels together. Flex your feet. Bring those heels in close to your bottom. And then make that same hip extension move. So you extend the hip. So just give your glutes a little squeeze. And you'll feel the knees come up. It's like you've just got poked. Someone's just poked you in the bottom with a skewer. And you go, ooh, and you go right up. Up. Not so far that you're, if you're feeling it more in your low back and less in your glutes, then just do less. Think about just unweighting the knees through activating your hips, your glutes. 3, 2, 1. You're going to extend the legs out. Both kneecaps are up and hovering. I'm going to swim them together. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, rest. Hope you like my little tempo count. Extend your arms out. Add the arms. So we're going to go right and left lift, left and right lift. And think about your swan now for your upper body. Swan through the upper chest. And if this is too easy, raise both limbs and alternate. You're swimming up to the sky. And rest. Place your hands underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes underneath you. Pop yourself up. Pull the knees in. Round the spine over your thighs. Stretch. Roll up to a tabletop position. From here, we're going alternating limbs, stretching out. Reach, return. Reach, return. Reach, return. Reach, hold. Reach out. Come back to center line. Reach the alternating limbs away from the body. Abduct and return. Switch sides and out. Abduct, return. abduct, return, reach, 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 return. Last one. Lift those limbs a little higher. Come back to center. Roll up through the spine. I'm going to turn to face the camera now for the next part. So we transitioned. We're back. We've risen up from our tabletop to kneeling on the knees. We're going to stretch the arms out, pivot over. Remember I said we were going to do side kneeling, hip work, and here we are. So from this position, we've just opened up. We're going to lift the leg, lower it down. Do some different stuff here. Make sure your bottom knee is comfortable. The supporting hand is open and strong. And we're just lifting and lowering. Lifting, lowering, holding, flexing, pointing, flexing the foot, pointing. What's so funny? It's hard. That's why it's so funny. Flex the foot forward, point the toe back, flex the foot forward, point the toe back, flex the foot forward, point the toe back, flex the foot forward, and bicycle. Ride the bicycle. Da-na-na-na. She's breaking into song. She must be feeling it. And reverse. Of course, I want to forget that. And we're here. Pulling the ribs in. Trying to not really flare them or puff them out like a bird. Stretch. And now we fly over to the other side. Ready? Up, over, ta-da! Look what I can do. And we lift, and we lower. All right, so we're thinking about opening up the chest, keeping the head drawing back, and a little friend is grabbing your ankle and stretching it across the room, beach. From here, point, flex, point, flex. I'm going to give myself a little bit more space to expand, not only length, but in width. From here, flex, point, flex, point, flex, point. Trying to keep that thigh up. And bicycle. Thinking about now abducting my shoulder blades at the back because they can get a little bit pinched from unwanted tension from the challenge. Well, this side is way harder for me. It happens. And that's a stretch. Maybe you snuck a few more in than I. Pop yourself back up. Take the arms in front of you. I'm going to give you a different view so this makes more sense. Whew. From here, feet are pushing down, knees are anchored down, hips are over the knees. As much as you can, see if you can get your hips further over your knees, encouraging length through the front of your hips. Now a little bit of work in the back line of the legs. Arms go forward and you lean back. Arms come down to help you back over top of your knees without falling forward. Just go to that point where you feel like you're about to lose it and try to anchor those feet down so that you don't lose it. You just feel it through the back line of the legs. Okay, so it's a thigh stretch. We're stretching the hips open, pressing the arms behind us to help us float back up magically. As you lean back, you've got that string again out the top of your head that's being pulled beyond. What? The universe? It's just being pulled out, stretching you long. See, it's hard work, but it makes us feel better, and that's why we're laughing. The other thing I'm thinking about is not just the string being pulled beyond the head, but the knees are going deep into the core of the earth, sliding, spearing out and forward to help me feel it a little bit more in the quads. Is that enough of those? I think so. I'm going to wiggle back. My right knee comes forward. I lean forward to take a stretch. Support that back knee as you need to. Prop up if necessary. Enjoy a stretch, a lunge. Coming back leg goes into turnout, front leg goes into turnout, and stretch again. Just gently encouraging my front knee to a diagonal. I've rotated the back foot in. Nothing too major. Giving my hips a little pulse. And I'm coming right back. Nothing fancy, just the other side. Parallel, forward, kneeling lunge. Letting those hips really sink into a stretch. Front knee isn't way over the toes, so make sure that bottom foot is forward. Give yourself space, forward and back and width, especially if you're losing your balance. Surprised the dog hasn't come to say hello. Honestly, a little bit offended. Back foot goes into turnout, front leg goes into turnout. Just opening up the thighs to a diagonal and putting some weight into the front of the hips. So we're at about the 35, 40 minute mark. Got one more spectacular finale for you as we just cool down from a quick intermediate flow. I want you to step to the back of your mat, coming up from your lunge. Not your lunch, your lunge. One more thing here, I'll take about it a minute. So we're going to do a roll down to a push-up. We're going to do 3 sets of 3. So if you're any good at math, that's about 9 push-ups and 3 roll-ups. Okay, a little bit of a division problem there. Reach those arms up to the ceiling, to the sky, to the universe, and then start to roll your body down. It's again that spinal articulation over the thighs, just as we did at the beginning in our roll-up. All the way down to the floor. I want you to now walk your hands out, bringing yourself into a plank position, and then with those elbows pretty tight into the side, you've got 3 push-ups. Maybe you're doing this from your knees. 3. Walk your hands back to your feet. Plug my shoulders in. They like to slip out of my sockets, and then roll yourself back up. Reach beyond. Whatever does she mean? And roll down. Curling, 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 lifting, curling. Lifting the stomach in to curl the spine over the legs, and you walk out. 2, 3. Now we go for our 4, 5, 6. 4. Proud chest. 5. 6. And you're back in. 1, 2, 3. We have certainly been keeping count on this one. We reach beyond. Hopefully you've found the pattern. Now we roll down. 8. Take your eyes a little bit forward. 9. What about the 10th one? I don't know, do it if you want. And we roll up. We reach beyond. And we say thank you to our body for taking the time to enjoy Joe Flow experience. Have a great rest of your day.